Introduction. Time is not a river. It is not a straight line, nor a delicate thread that unspools neatly through history. Time is a battlefield shifting, an unpredictable force that has been molded, twisted, and rewritten by those who have dared to manipulate its flow. For centuries, a silent war has raged beneath the surface of history. A war was fought not with armies, but with technology, intelligence, and deception. At the heart of this conflict was the Chrono Division, an elite organization sworn to preserve the timeline and ensure history unfolded as it was meant to. But meant to by whom? The question lingered, unspoken yet ever present. The division had been founded on principles of stability, intervention, and control. They were the unseen sentinels, quietly ensuring that events aligned to a predetermined future. Wars prevented. Empires reshaped. Assassinations orchestrated and undone in the blink of an eye. The agents of the division weren't just historians, they were architects of reality itself. But across the centuries, there were others who disagreed with the division's mission. Rebels. Visionaries. Enemies. The Vanir, a rogue faction determined to dismantle the illusion of stability, sought to expose and erase the forces that had dictated the course of human history for far too long. The Vanir believed that time was not meant to be curated, that the very act of interference was an injustice against existence itself. To them, the division was not a guardian but a warden, shackling human history to an artificial script. Their operatives worked in the shadows, disrupting division interventions, introducing chaos where order had been enforced, striving to let history unfold unshaped by invisible hands. For agents like Elias, Voss, and Okada, this was more than just another mission. It was the fight for the soul of time itself. But as they navigated the echoes of forgotten futures and stolen pasts, they realized a terrifying truth. Time travel had never been about fixing history. It had been about controlling it. There was no grand cosmic order, no natural progression of events that had to be safeguarded. Instead, history had been rewritten countless times, shaped to serve the needs of those who wielded the power to do so. And the question that burned in their minds was not whether history should be protected, but whether anyone had the right to dictate the course of human existence at all. Elias had been a loyal operative of the Chrono Division for years, executing missions that he had believed were righteous. But the more he saw, the more he questioned. How many events have been subtly altered? How many seemingly insignificant changes have rippled into devastating consequences? And how many people had been erased from history altogether, unremembered, their legacies lost, simply because they had been deemed unimportant by those in power? Rin had always been skeptical. A historian first and agent second, she had joined the division not to control time but to understand it. But understanding had turned into complicity, and complicity into doubt. When she stumbled upon classified files showing multiple versions of history, the same events rewritten over and over, each iteration designed to correct the unintended consequences of the last, she knew that time was not a fragile thing to be protected. It was a weapon being wielded by unseen hands. And yet, to simply let time go, to remove intervention entirely, felt equally dangerous. Without a guiding hand, history could spiral into chaos. Wars would rage unchecked. Plagues could decimate civilizations. Power-hungry individuals could rise and rewrite reality in their own image. Could humanity be trusted with its own destiny? Or was some form of control inevitable? Faced with an impossible choice, Elias and Rin had to decide, would they protect a future that had already been written? Or would they shatter the very foundation of time, ensuring that history would finally belong to those who lived it? The battle between the Chrono Division and the Vanir was not one of simple good versus evil. It was a war of philosophy, of ideals, of competing visions of what it meant to be free. The Vanir sought to dismantle the division, to erase time travel itself from existence. The division sought to maintain their order, believing their cause to be just. And in the middle of it all stood two agents who no longer knew which side they belonged to. This is the story of the last time travelers. The ones who made the ultimate sacrifice so that time itself could be free. The ones who discovered that even in a world where the past could be rewritten, the future was never truly certain. Because some things are meant to be remembered, even if they never happened.